So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by, I guess, now the number one contender for the British super welterweight title, Ishmael Davis. Ish, how you doing? It's a roller coaster week with a happy ending.
Yeah, man, I'm good, but it was a tough week to deal with. Tough day on Friday, obviously, getting the fight over the line. But yeah, we got there and we got the victory, man.
Yes, when he failed to make the weight, Troy Williamson at the weigh-in, he initially said, "No, the fight's definitely going to be on." He was saying on social media, "We'll work something out, whatever." And you seemed quite positive as well. And then towards the end
hmm
of the night, you said, "No, fight's off as it stands." What was the situation back then?
I don't really want to get too much into the situation, but basically, we weren't happy with the first agreement, and then no, they weren't happy with what we proposed, and then they came back with someone else and we weren't happy with it. So we said fights off, and then yeah, we come to an agreement, man, which I was very happy with. And yeah, we got the fight made.
And without going into exact details, was it an agreement related to finance or was it agreement related to weight? Or
It was
both?
an agreement related to weight.
Okay. And how disappointed were you in the first place, whether you thought the fight was going to happen or not, that he'd not only come in over, but so far over the weight limit?
Oh, I was disappointed. Obviously, like right, I've spoke to Troy after the fight, and he literally, I know he wasn't lying. He come up to me and he said, "Ish, I'm sorry." He said, "I just can't make the weight anymore." But I already knew that he wasn't lying because for quite a while now we've been sparring and sparring. As you know, we're friends, we spar all the time. He's always said to me, "Man, I'm struggling to make the weight, man. Struggling, man. I'm getting older now. I'm struggling." He's now what, 32? Metabolism slowing down. It's time for him to move up, which he is doing now. But yeah, I knew he wasn't lying, and he come up to me and he just said, "Ish, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do it." And I could just see that, he was being genuine. So I've got a big heart. I'm a forgiving person. So I just said, it's in the past. You know, New day, man.
When you've beaten a former British champion and a good amateur, does it kind of take a little bit away from that because he's coming overweight? Because people will now talk about that as much as your performance.
Do you know what it is? Let people say what they want to say. I know how good Troy is, and I've always known how good Troy is. I've never fought him with 10-ounce gloves on, but believe you me, mate, I don't know if you can see this side of my face is swollen. Them 10-ounce gloves makes a difference. But I just believe I've shown levels. Hats off to him, and thanks to him for letting me share the ring with him. And I got the victory, man. So I'm happy.
How satisfied were you with your own performance? Seemed you pretty much covered all the bases. You've outboxed him from the outside and you took him on the inside as well. What was your reflections on it?
I'm happy with my performance. Listen, like I said, I've had one amateur fight, and now I've had 13 pro fights. I'm learning on the job. I'm enjoying the journey, and I'm sat in the driver's seat and I'm enjoying the ride. So listen, I'm doing what I can. I'm learning off what I get wrong, and I'm learning off what I get right as well. So I'm happy with my performance, man. I never look at things in a bad way. I just take the good things out of it, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I feel like it was an overall good performance. It's showing who I am. It's showing what skills I have, or percentage of what skills I have, because I'm still going to be getting it better and getting it right and getting it more better, and the more experience I get. So it's only going to get better. And just believe me, I'm just learning and learning and learning. I'm back in. I was back in the gym today. My trainer told me not to be back in the gym, but I just couldn't sit at home. I'm just so like looking forward to getting better and learning and putting on a good show for the fans.
And you seemed to sweep most, if not all, the first 6 rounds. And then he came back a bit stronger in the second half of the fight. When it was all said and done, I mean, I think most people had you a pretty clear winner. But was there any doubt in your mind, not that you'd done enough, but whether you'd get the decision?
No, there was no doubt, because I know that I boxed well, but obviously any boxer will tell you, you could win a whole round and you'll still ask, did I win that round? That's just because being a boxer, you're supposed to be a perfectionist. You want to get everything right. You're never going to get everything right. Right. It's No one gets anything right, but being a boxer, you always want to get it right. So you're always gonna ask. I always ask anyway. Well, did I win that round? No matter what. So I always at the end, I always think, yo, you just until you hear your name, it's not over to the fat lady sings. You know what I mean? So you need to hear your name just to clarify.
And now you have got that win under your belt. It's, as I said at the start, you're now the mandatory contender for the British, but that belt's currently vacant. Are you happy to kind of wait, obviously be active in the meantime, or are there other routes you'd consider going down and not fight for the British?
Well, obviously that British title fight for me anyway is not going to happen until probably the back end of the year now because they've still got to fight for that belt, and then I have to come after that and fight the winner. But in the meantime, I want Caoimhin Agyarko. I feel like that's the fight to be made. And obviously, I like Caoimhin Agyarko. It's just boxing, but I feel like that's the fight to be made. And he just beat Troy. I've just beat Troy, so it only makes sense to me.
Is he someone you've had your eye on previously to, both sharing the opponent in Troy?
Obviously, that was on my mind. I just thought, yo, if I beat Troy, I'm gonna call out Caoimhin Agyarko because it makes sense. And anyone in boxing knows that things like that make sense. Um, he's been a top amateur. He's WBA Intercontinental champion. I'd love to have that belt. He's a good boxer, and he's also a nice guy. But this is boxing, man, and anyone that's in my weight that has something that I can achieve or get, it's nothing personal. But I want the fight.
Would you be surprised if he saw you as a risk not worth taking at this stage?
No, I won't be surprised to be honest. No, I won't be surprised because a lot of people have said that to me as well. Like, well, might see you as a risk with no reward, really. Well, listen, see if Eddie can make the fight happen.
Yeah. Well, you've certainly done your bit against Troy. I'm sure it's an attractive fight. I think we'd all enjoy watching it. It's just whether,
Mhm.
yeah, like you say, it's a risk versus reward thing. Talked about the
Mhm.
British title there. It's obviously a rematch now between Sam Gilly and Louis Green. Louis Green coming off that big win over Jack McCann.
Yes.
An upset of sorts. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people were picking Green within the boxing fraternity. What do you make of that rematch? Because Gilly obviously came for a bit of a war the first time round, but Green's maybe grown in confidence since.
You know what it is? It's definitely it was a good fight, the first fight, isn't it? So it's definitely worth watching. And I'm just looking forward to seeing who the winner is, man. To see who I've got to face. You know what I mean?
Are you going to sit on the fence? No, you're not a fence sitter.
Do you know what it is? I ain't really watched so much like enough to pick one.
Right.
Plus, I don't really like when two people are fighting, yeah. If I don't know them and I've got to respect every fighting man, do you know what I mean, that gets in there and puts their life at risk and like the career at risk to put on a good show for the fans. I respect them, so I don't like saying who would be the winner because I don't know them and I don't want to disrespect anyone. I'm not that sort of person. So may the best man win, and I hope he looks forward to fighting me.
Fair enough. And the British title itself, is that something where you've come into the sport and you've always wanted to win it? Or is it more just it's a step in the path to where you want to go?
I want to win that belt outright. I feel like every British boxer should want to win the British belt outright. And my friend Dalton Smith, he kind of made me want to win it outright even more. Um, and he's a good example of British boxers. He's representing very good, and he just beat Zapida in spectacular fashion. And I'm looking forward to seeing him win a world title. But the British champion, the British belt, that's just it's a lovely belt, and it's a lovely looking belt. And I'm British, so I've got to win that belt outright.
How much of a maybe inspiration's not the right word given you're not that far apart in age, but what's the relationship been like with Dalton Smith, and especially in terms of your own development?
Do you know what it is, right? I've known Dalton Smith because I used to go down and spar Junaid, and I've sparred there many times at the Steel City gym. He's always been respectful, always been a nice guy. But we went away to Arizona for Sonny's fight against Bam Rodriguez, and we just clicked. You know, like we both got similarities, and we're both family men. We're respectful, and we don't like, we ain't got the persona as idiots. Do you know what I mean? So we don't act like idiots anyway. So um, yeah, we just clicked, and now we're very close. I'm going to see him tomorrow. We're going out for food actually, and he's proud. He's happy for me, and I'm happy for him, and just want to see each other win, man. And we speak all the time. And there's been a time where I've needed him to talk to, and he's been there for me, and I just respect him as a man. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, he's just a nice guy, man.
And now you're going out for food because you can both actually eat.
Yeah, we can both eat. We're gonna eat both.
Where you going?
We're
Where you
gonna eat.
going?
I don't know yet. He's picking because I'm gonna go over to Sheffield, but he's we both can eat, so we're gonna be eating loads.
Glad to hear it. You've earned it.
Yeah.
Talking of Dalton, obviously he had a good win at the weekend as well. There's been a lot of talk in the build-up to the show on Saturday about him and Adam Azim. Um, what's Dalton's what's he said to you about it? Because it seems like it's not Adam Azim who maybe is avoiding the fight.
Dalton just said he's ready to fight, and Dalton's not one of them guys. Like he's like me. He don't really talk down about people, innit? So he's a fighting man. He'll get in there. He'll fight any day, anywhere. So he's just said, look, he's confident in winning the fight, and he's willing to fight him.
Yeah, because we've heard Eddie Hearn talking about it quite a lot and kind of giving Boxer a bit of a verbal shellacking, but
Bit of a hard time.
yeah, definitely. But Dalton doesn't really get involved in all that. You know, he is kind of a throwback.
Dalton's humble, man. He's a humble, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Yeah, well, obviously, anyone. He's one of the nicest guys anyone could meet. But he's humble. He don't believe in the hype. Do you know what I mean? He's just himself.
Have you ever considered? I mean, I'm sure everything's going really well where you are anyway. But have you ever considered spending more time at Steel City and working there?
Yeah, man. Well, I go down there and spar all the time. With Junaid, me and Junaid spar all the time. Even though we're same weight, we're cool. He's one of the boys. We speak. And Grant, lovely guy. I speak to Grant. Cavan, the nephew, Dalton's nephew. I went to go watch him fight not long ago. He got a win. I'm kind of close with all the guys. Obviously, Sonny as well. Me and Sonny are very close. But yeah, I go down there all the time, man. Can go down there whenever I want.
Good stuff. Tell us a little bit about your kind of training team, your backroom team, because maybe until now, because you burst onto the scene on TV, maybe now they can get more of the credit they deserve.
Yeah, well, you got Keith Walton. That's my trainer. He's like my dad. He just makes sure I'm on the straight and narrow. If I'm messing about, he's very angry. He don't let me mess about. He keeps me, but I don't mess about no more. Before when I was younger, he used to have to like basically strangle me to keep me from messing about. But now, I do everything. He hardly rings me now. Before when I was younger, he'd make sure what are you doing? Where are you? What are you eating? You better not be going out. You know what I mean? But now I'm a true professional and I take it very seriously. So we both got respect for each other. And then you got Justin Newell. He's like a assistant trainer. He trains me like twice a week sometimes, but he used to box with us.
Yeah, I've interviewed Justin before.
Yeah, Mark Bateson, he's my man. He's part of the management team. So you got Sonny Lee and Mark Bateson, they work together. And doing the best they can for me, getting me the right fights, making sure it's the right time, all of that stuff. And then you got Cody Smith. He's signed to Wasserman. He's just joined us recently. You got Zahid Hussein, English champion. He's there. You got Jack Bateson.
Of course.
Everyone knows Jack Bateson, man. Sick boxer. He just recently fought. I don't know when he's gonna be back out, but yeah, that's my bro, man. That's my bro. Yeah, so we're all close, man. But we train at Golden Team. Yeah, it's tight, man. It's a tight knit squad, man. We're doing what we need to be doing.
It must be a big help to you, as you said, you only had that one amateur fight, but you're surrounded by so much experience, both as fighters and in the other roles in boxing. just Keith Fulton and Mark Bateson alone, like combined, have had what? I don't know how many decades of experience. I wouldn't want to offend them by revealing how old they are, but they've been around a long time. That must be a
Yeah,
real help for you.
it's a massive help, man. Like Mark Bateson, he's done so much for me, man. Like obviously, like everyone knows, and I can speak about it. I went to jail, and then when I come out, I rang him and I said, "Oh, I want to change my life." And he was managing then. He's always been a manager. And I rang him. Well, I rang Jack and asked if his dad will manage me, and then he put me through to him. And he just asked for me to be dedicated and come train with him. So I started training with Mark. And then there was a bit of trouble going on with people around me, a bit of beef and stuff. So I needed to move out of the area, Chapeltown, and he moved me into one of his properties, quite far from Chapeltown, like half an hour, 25-minute drive, and it just changed my life ever since then. So I'm very grateful for him, and look where we are now. And he just believes in me, man. He believes I can be a world champion, and I do too. My whole team does, because I work so hard, and there's not many people that work harder than I do, and I'm not just saying that, to be big-headed, but I really do work hard every single day. So, the fans are gonna see, man, how far I can go, and I'm gonna see how far I can go, man.
Did you grow up in Chapeltown?
Yeah.
It's a pretty well-known area, not always for the best reasons. What was your kind of experience of it?
I went through a lot of life lessons in Chapeltown. Obviously, when you're young, you want to be a certain way. I used to act a certain way. Led me to going to jail as well. And then a lot of things happened around me, beef between friends and falling out. And there's a lot of bad things, but it made me who I am today. And now my message is showing other people from Chapeltown, kids, people around the area that have talents, and because it's a place where talents get swallowed up. There's a lot of footballers there that are sick at football. There's people that can fight. There's people that do MMA. There's loads of talent, but you get involved in the gang stuff like I did. Because before I was a boxer, Then I got involved with like streets, and then had kids, and then got more involved in the streets, and then messed my boxing up, and then it took me going to jail and going through all these life experiences before I realized, like, yo, I can do something in this sport if I dedicate myself. And then I got out and I did that. But I'm here to I'm here so people don't have to go through them life experiences. They can dedicate from young and get to where they should be. Do you know what I mean?
Remind me, how
So
many
yeah,
kids do
man.
you have?
I got 6 kids, me.
6, yeah. I think last time I spoke to you, was it 5? Have you had another one since?
Yeah, I've got a fight. Well, do you know what it is, right? I'll be honest. I'm not ashamed of anything that goes on in my life, because we're humans in it, and we go through life experiences. So obviously, I just recently just had a DNA for us from my son. Now I just found out he's my son, and he's 3 years old. So
Wow.
yeah, man, that makes it
That's
6.
pretty cool, isn't it?
It's pretty what?
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Finding out
cool,
you've
man.
got a son. He's still young enough to get to know him as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool kid as well. He's proper. He's like, when I was young, he acts just exactly like I used to act without even knowing me. So it's crazy, man. And he's beautiful as well. So yeah, man, it's a good thing. It's a blessing, man. All kids are blessings. So I'm thankful to have, and I'm grateful to have 6. Some people can't have children. So, some people might say, oh, I don't know why he's got so many kids and this and that. But it's like, it's a blessing from God, man.
I'd say it just sounds tiring. I don't know about why has he got so many. I struggle with one, never mind 6. How aware are they? Obviously, they're different ages, but how aware are they of what you do for a living, and what level you're achieving at now?
They're all aware. Like 5 of them come to my show. He's the only one that's not been yet, to my fights. But it has a massive impact in their life. Like 2 of my twins, my little boys, they do jujitsu.
All right.
Yeah, they do jujitsu, and they're dedicated, man. The dedication, man, I admire them. The dedication that they have it's crazy, man.
Well,
They
you're going to
teach
need to
kids as
win.
well.
You're going to need to win world titles, aren't you? With the paydays, I think.
I will win world title, man. I will. It's just when it's happened already, but not happened already.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right, before I let you go, just remind people out there how they can find you on the different social media platforms so they can support you a bit more, find out more about you.
Instagram, ishmael.bp.davis. On Twitter, you can find me Ishmael Davis _. And yeah, Ishmael Davis on Facebook, man.
And the BP, of course, stands for Black Panther. Did you
The
have it
Black
before the
Panther.
movie or after? Because obviously it was a
Yeah, I
comic
had it
strip from
before.
last year.
I had it before the movie. I had it. When did that get made? I turned professional 6 years ago now. I don't even know when the first movie was, but I've had it for about 8 years, man. Probably
What,
nine.
who
Might
gave
be
it to you?
nine.
Do you remember?
Keith Walton, my trainer.
Oh, it was actually him that gave it to you.
Yeah. He gave me it.
Just for what specific reason? Was it the way he saw you moving in the gym, or what started it?
He just knows me as a person and knows what I stand for, and it's got many reasons behind it in it. You know, Black Panther. It's not just about the movie.
Sure.
Like that's just like, if you know about the Black Panthers, the actual Black Panthers who fought for like black rights and being strong and coming through what was going on back then, and there's a lot of meanings behind Black Panther, really.
Glad to hear it. Well, enjoy the success. Enjoy the meal with Dalton. I'm sure you'll put plenty away, and hopefully you'll be back out soon. We can watch you again.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you.
All right.